Are you ready to dive into the most controversial game releases of 2024? This year has been absolutely wild in the gaming world, with some games completely blowing our minds, while others, well, let's just say they sparked some heated debates. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Let's kick things off with S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chernobyl, a game that has been on everyone's radar for quite some time. After numerous delays, the Ukrainian developer GSC Game World finally gave us the chance to explore the eerie, radioactive world of Chernobyl once again. But wow, did this game come with its fair share of controversy, set in an alternate version of Chernobyl's exclusion zone. It's an open-world, first-person survival horror that looks absolutely stunning. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the game's immersive realism might be its biggest selling point, but it's also what led to the debates. Some players feel that the use of real-life disaster sites for entertainment feels a bit unsettling. But hey, at the same time, others argue it's a form of art that reflects on human history. What do you guys think? Is it a tribute or too close to reality for comfort? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. By the way, if you're into post-apocalyptic worlds with a heavy dose of survival horror, hit that like button and subscribe to stay tuned for more content coming your way. Unrecord. Next up is the highly controversial Unrecord. And boy, this one had gamers talking like no other. If you haven't seen it yet, it's a hyper-realistic first-person shooter that puts you in the shoes of a police officer, all through the lens of a body cam. This game is designed to look like actual footage, and trust me, it's one of the most visually striking and immersive experiences we've ever seen. You feel like you're right there in the action, running through alleyways, kicking down doors, and making split-second decisions that could mean life or death for your character. But with that stunning realism comes a hefty load of controversy. First off, the game stirred up major conversations about how it handles the depiction of police violence, especially considering the current climate of public debate around law enforcement. Some critics argue that its hyper-realism might desensitize players to real-world issues, blurring the line between entertainment and real-life ethics. On the other hand, some gamers and developers hailed Unrecord as a technological marvel, praising how it pushes the boundaries of game design. They see it as a step forward in the evolution of the first-person shooter genre. What really struck me, though, is the way it makes you question your own feelings about the scenarios you're put in. You're forced to navigate morally complex situations where it's not always clear who's in the right. It's not just a game about shooting enemies. It's a game about decision-making, perception, and morality. Whether this intense realism makes you uncomfortable or you see it as groundbreaking, there's no doubt that Unrecord gets people talking. The line between realism and ethics is blurry here, and it's fascinating to see where people stand on this one. Is it just a game, or does it cross a line by replicating violent situations in such detail? Does it offer commentary on real-world policing, or is it simply pushing the limits of technology for the sake of it? Either way, it's got everyone buzzing. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. For the old-school fans, Final Fantasy VII is iconic, and the fact that Square Enix decided to shake things up by remaking this classic, well, it was either going to be a massive hit or a huge flop. And guess what? It's been both. While many players praised the beautiful graphics and how it expanded on the original's world and characters, others felt like the changes were a bit too much, especially those who grew up playing the PS1 classic. Square Enix added new plot twists and gameplay mechanics that divided the community. Some fans appreciated the innovation, while others argued it should have stayed true to the original's essence. Helldivers 2. Next, let's talk about Helldivers 2, a game that made a massive leap from a top-down perspective to a third-person shooter. Now, you might be thinking, what's so controversial about that? Well, the fans of the original were pretty divided on this one. On the one hand, the new immersive third-person perspective gave the game a fresh feel, offering more tactical depth and keeping the co-op gameplay alive. But on the other hand, some longtime fans were not too happy with a visual overhaul. They felt like the top-down perspective was part of the game's identity and were worried this new angle might mess with the overall experience. What's your take on this? Are you team top-down or loving the new third-person vibe? Destiny 2: The Final Shape. Now, I have to be honest, this one hurt a little bit. Destiny 2: The Final Shape was supposed to be the epic conclusion we've all been waiting for in Bungie's Light and Darkness saga, but it didn't exactly land as smoothly as we hoped. While some players were hyped about finally entering the pale heart of the Traveler and facing off against the Witness, others were less than thrilled about how Bungie handled the narrative wrap-up. Some felt the ending was rushed, and the monetization tactics, oh boy, the microtransactions left a bitter taste for many players. I mean, when you've been with a game for years, you expect the conclusion to knock it out of the park, right? But hey, if you stuck with Destiny 2, let me know how you feel about the final shape. Was it the ending you wanted? Crimson Desert. Okay, here's one that isn't even out yet, but Crimson Desert is already raising eyebrows. Originally set for 2024, this game has now been delayed into 2025. With its stunning graphics and massive open-world combat, expectations were sky-high, but the delays have left fans feeling a bit deflated. It makes you wonder, will the extended development time actually result in a game that exceeds expectations? Or are we in for another disappointing delay? Only time will tell. But for now, fans are buzzing, and not all of it is good. Silent Hill 2 Remake. This next game comes from the legendary Silent Hill series, Silent Hill 2 Remake. It's another remake, and while fans were super excited to re-experience this psychological horror, it wasn't all smooth sailing. The shift towards a more photorealistic style had some people absolutely thrilled, while others felt it took away from the eerie, more abstract visuals of the original. This shift sparked debates on whether games like this should focus on realism or stick to their roots. The original Silent Hill 2 had a deeply unsettling atmosphere, and fans are torn over whether these changes enhance or detract from that. Alright, Gritters, there you have it. The most controversial game releases of 2024. From games that pushed the boundaries of realism to those that shook up beloved franchises, it's been a year of heated debates and intense emotions. Whether you loved or hated these titles, there's no denying they've made a mark in the gaming world. Did any of these games surprise you? Or maybe you think they didn't deserve the backlash they got? Let's get the conversation started below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and click that bell so you never miss out on the latest gaming breakdowns. And if you're hungry for more, click the link on the screen. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. See you next time, Gritters!